Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the final video of the 2023 postseason. As you can tell in my voice, I'm pretty sad. Twins lost tonight. They are eliminated from the playoffs, and that was a tough one to lose, okay? Now, I'll just say it first. I would have rather had this game. 3-2 is the final score. We ended up losing, obviously, like I said, but I'd rather have this game than yesterday's game, which I actually went to. I went to Game 3. That game, I mean, the energy and the atmosphere was electric. That was nothing like I've ever experienced before, but that game sucked. The game was terrible. The Twins had a postseason franchise record, or tied the record for least amount of hits in a game at 3 in a blowout loss. Tonight, they only had 3 hits as well. You're not going to win a lot of games with 3 hits. And I'll be covering this game. I'll be referencing some things from last game yesterday and then obviously through the first couple of games in the series. But let's talk about it. Twins lose 3-2. They're eliminated from the playoffs, and it's a tough one to swallow. The Twins probably shouldn't have been here, right? Maybe they were going to win the division. Like, we knew that. Or at least we thought. Obviously, the Guardians were good last year. The White Sox were supposed to be good again. Both those teams really struggled. We did not. I mean, we struggled to be the team that I think all of us wanted us to be, but we were good enough to make the playoffs. We were good enough to win a wild card series. We were good enough to be like 4 or 5 games over 500 and make some noise. Like, we had a good pitching staff. We were prepared for the postseason. The problem is you throw 2 to 3 mistakes and you pay for it. The Twins did not capitalize on any, I mean, almost literally any mistakes that the Astros made this postseason ALDS. There weren't many from the Astros, but when they had them, they just didn't capitalize. So in this game specifically, the Twins actually got out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Royce Lewis again. Home run, his 4th in the postseason. 2nd of the ALDS, hit 2 in the wild card. That is awesome. Like, the kid is special. He's very good. And hopefully the Twins use him and Correa as the 2 centerpieces. One is a veteran leader and the other guy is as a young guy with energy. And those 2 guys can be good for the next 5 years, right? That is obviously the goal. We saw a little bit of that this year, and specifically in the postseason. But they got out to a 1-0 lead, but then they gave it right back. They literally gave it right back in the top of the 2nd with a home run off Michael Brantley. And this was Joe Ryan pitching. I'll cover pitching in a little bit. I want to get through the hitting first and what happened. The Twins actually had the opportunity to go up more than 1. Edward Julian got on with a double. Fantastic. I think he was slow out of the box a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I think he probably should have had a triple, but if he did, that probably takes away what I'm going to say next. Is the second dude up. Who was that? Polanco, I think. Poked one over the pitcher's head. Thought it would get down. Middle base hit. No. Jeremy Pena makes an amazing catch and then makes a greater play at second base to get the out. Obviously, Royce Lewis, again, hit the home run. They give it right back, Michael Brantley. But then, from there, it was downhill. They give up 2 in the 4th. That was all that mattered. In the 6th, Edward Julian hits another home run, or his first home run of the postseason, I should say. And that brought it within 1, but it didn't matter because the Astros bullpen was lights out, as they have been most of the postseason and as well as the season. So the real point that I want to get to before I get to the pitchers is the 9th inning, okay? I've had some time to settle down. It's been about 25 minutes, 30 minutes since the game ended that I'm recording this video because it's just a lot to take in right away. And a lot of it wouldn't have been frustration. It just is, it's sadness that the season is ending like this because I said we were built to do well in the postseason. Pitching-wise, at least, the pitching was not the problem this year. The hitting just never showed up against better pitchers, right? But the thing I want to talk about is the last inning. They brought in Ryan Presley, and he has obviously been so good. 12 for 12 in postseason appearances, in save opportunities. But man, like, you're looking here, Polanco, I don't know what Polanco's hitting zones are. He worked a great count. You needed to get somebody on base against Presley, and that, I think, took the wind out of the sails right away in the 9th inning. A foul tip strikeout. Again, I don't know his zones, but the first pitch that he watched and the second, it was a curveball, so I don't blame him there. He didn't get a fastball on this at-bat, so again, I don't blame him. But you're looking at a slider down and in to a lefty. I feel like that is a good pitch to hit. I don't know. Again, he's a good pitcher. Polanco, I think, is a good hitter. Foul tipped it right in the glove. He just missed it. That took the wind out of the sails. Then you're looking at Royce Lewis. I think just tries to do too much, okay? I know he's a great hitter. He hit some big home runs. I think he just tries to do too much. He took a four-seam fastball, top of the zone. He swung at that. I said took. He swung out of his shoes for that one. The second pitch was a curveball. That was a good pitch. Like, I don't know what you're trying to look for, and this is what I want to set up, is like, I feel like Presley is a curveball pitcher. Again, I don't know the Astros very well. Just from what I've seen and heard from the very little information that I saw on Presley, I feel like he's a curveball pitcher. That second pitch to Royce Lewis in the bottom of the 9th, I think he could have crushed. Again, if you're looking curveball, which I don't think Royce ever is, which is why I think he wanted that first pitch, the fastball that was high. The second pitch was a curveball, really changed the eye level, but if you're looking curveball, I feel like you tattoo that ball, right? I don't know. Worked a great at-bat, and then swung through another curveball to end his night. So, again, I feel like if you're looking curveball, Royce Lewis was definitely not in that at-bat. He strikes out, 2 outs. The last guy at the plate, Max Kepler. If I would have made this video right afterwards, I probably would have been a little frustrated, but a lot of it would have been sadness. It would have said, get Max Kepler off this team. He should never be on this team again. And it left a really sour taste in my mouth because he looked at a fastball on the outside corner, granted, okay, looked at a fastball, did not even lift the bat off his shoulder, and that ended the game. That is disgusting. It was the first four-seam Here, let me break this down here. I think, again, you need to look curveball off Presley. That's my mind. So, seeing a first fastball, the first fastball that he saw was the last pitch of the game. I think that you look curveball, you probably tattoo that first pitch, right, that he missed. He fouled it off. Probably tattoo that one. But same thing, slider, a little bit different from the curveball, but I think you at least you get a piece of it. You probably hit it fair. I don't know, again, what he's looking for. I would have looked curveball as well if I was Kepler, okay? He just threw it to Royce Lewis 3-2. I feel like that's his good go-to pitch. He sees a fastball, he doesn't swing at it. So, again, I see what could have thrown him off, but as a fan, as somebody who's watching the game, I'm just looking at it and saying, you didn't swing at a four-seam fastball right on the edge of the plate. You probably wouldn't have done much with it. Maybe would have slapped it the other way. He's trying to get Correa up to the plate probably, thinking it's ball 4. It just doesn't sit well with me as a fan to see righty versus lefty matchup be there. Kepler's been hot the last couple of games. Keep the bat on the shoulder, okay? So that is my take on that last at-bat. He got fooled. No excuse to probably not swing the bat, but probably got fooled looking for the curveball, and the fastball buzzed him right by it. Had no chance at it. So that sucks. And you can't really do much with that. That ends the season. So that's the offense, though. You're not going to win a lot of games when the games that the Twins won, they scored, what, 6 runs? Okay, that's good. But then when you score 4 runs, 1 run, and 2 runs, you're not going to win a lot. And like I said, it wasn't necessarily the hitting. It was pitching that, they made 2 mistakes, and that is what cost them the game. Like, the Astros scoring 3 runs probably shouldn't win you a lot of games, right? But the hitting, going back to that one more time, is they were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position tonight. They were 0 for 7 before they finally got 1 hit with runners in scoring position last night, and then they failed to do it a few more times. I think they were like 1 for 9 or 1 for 10. Going back to the previous 2 games, I think they were 1 for 15 in those 2 games. Again, numbers might be a little bit off, but the idea is the same. The Twins had opportunities. When the Astros messed up. Justin Verlander in Game 1 was not strong. In the 6th inning yesterday, Jeffers had a line shot up the middle. Heck of a play by Pena, right, to literally change the game. Those things add up. Missed opportunities. I think that changes the game yesterday if Jeffers gets that ball through. If they tattoo 1 pitch, 2 pitches from Verlander, changes that game. If they don't go down 4-0 in the first inning of yesterday's game, again, home run sucks, but you can't make an error at first base like that for Kirilloff. That was bad. Like, those are the things that just add up, right? And then when you do make a mistake on the pitching side of things, let's cover that, it's really bad. And you give up 2 runs, 3 runs, right? That's what the 2 home runs, the big killers in the last 2 games were. You can give up a solo shot, that's fine. But the 2 runs in the 4th inning for Abreu, and last night, Abreu again, 3 runs, that stinks. So on the pitching side of things, you need to win this game, okay, right? You needed to win this game. Ryan pitching 2 innings, he struggled significantly in the last, since he was hurt, I guess. I don't know how many starts that's been or anything. He was dominant in the first half. Then he got hurt. He really, really struggled. 2 innings tonight. Again, like, it's a must-win situation. I don't agree with that. I think you keep him out there a little longer, but he gave up the home run to Brantley on a fastball right down the middle. Like, his leash was already short in Baracco's eyes. Like, that obviously cut it, but then Thielbar. I hated this idea, this decision, because if I'm not mistaken, it was Thielbar that gave up the home run to Alvarez in game, well, he hit 4 of them, so I don't really remember. I think it was the 2nd home run of the first game. I'm 99% sure it was Thielbar, and I don't want to just pull it up because I don't want to waste any more of your time, but I did not like that, because if he hit a home run off him the first time, he's already seen what he's got. He hit a single tonight off of him, and then he gives up a home run to Abreu, and he went the other way with it. Abreu's a twin killer. Alvarez was good this entire series. Like, it just did not seem like Thielbar should have been the guy. Like, I completely agree with what the announcer said, too, actually, that Paddock should have been the next guy out. I thought he would be the next guy up from Ryan, but then they went with Stewart, Thielbar, and then Jax after Paddock, and I was just like, what is Thielbar doing in here? Like, I don't think you should have put him out there the 2nd time facing Alvarez. Maybe, again, seeing how Paddock does, because Paddock's a longer guy. He's a starter, or he was. You see how he does. Again, I think you keep Ryan out there a little longer. Maybe a time and a half. I don't know if you let him see Alvarez again. Then you put out Paddock. I don't like the idea of putting Thielbar out there. I did not like it. It did not work. And he got burned twice in this series. So I don't think you can blame Thielbar. But it's just like, man, that's tough. I just don't like that decision to put him out there. I would have loved to see Paddock go 2nd. And then, honestly, you could have talked about bringing Pablo in because you needed to win this game. I don't think you do that because you need to save him for tomorrow to face Verlander or Friday. But if you needed to bring him in for an inning or 2, right, like, at least he has that day off. You know, maybe he goes 5 innings, but then you have guys like you could do this strategy after the 5th inning of game 5. I think you could have played it a little bit better. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but it's just tough when your guys give up home runs, multi-run home runs. And it stinks because, again, you can't really blame the pitchers either. Like, there's really nobody to blame in this whole series except for everybody themselves. But it's like Thielbar gives up a home run, Ryan gives up a home run. Yeah, but the Twins only had 2 solo shots, right? If you're the Astros, you give them that. Like, so, tough. Urquidy didn't pitch great. 5 2/3 innings, 2 runs. I mean, he did what he needed to do. He kept the Twins off base for the most part. Like, it wasn't great, though. Verlander wasn't great. the Twins just were not better. All right, they were just not better, and it stinks because the crowd couldn't get into it as much as they should have been. Just a lot of factors that go into it, but the Twins are really, they beat themselves when they had the opportunities, and then they let the pitchers, because the pitchers can't be perfect all the time. Pitchers make one or two mistakes, and the Astros capitalized on it. That is what sums up this entire series. Twins beat themselves with runners in scoring position and errors, and just not capitalizing on the few mistakes that the Astros did make. The Astros capitalized on the few pitching mistakes that the Twins made. That's the difference. So, really, really tough. That's a tough way to end the season, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me have it in the comments, I guess. Maybe your condolences, but also, if you're rooting for the Astros, I hope you get beat by the Rangers. So, it was a fun series. It was good. I think we got a young team that is capable of doing this again next year, right? The last thing I want to say is that, like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think the Twins should have been here, right? They probably should have and did win the division, but I think this was going to be another year of, if we lose, we lose. Yes, we are built for the postseason. Yes, we can do what we did, and I think if we would have beat this team, we had the season series against the Rangers, and, you know, we could have competed, right? I don't think the Rangers are that good, and I know they're 5-0 in the postseason, whatever, but I just think if we would have beat the Astros, we could have had a shot. We could have had a shot the way our pitchers worked, but I don't think anybody expected this. So it's a great season. It's a winning season. It's a lot more than I think we hoped for. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments, but that's what I got for you. Thanks for watching this longer video, and I'll see you soon.